but you never know. You never know. Words are really hard for me today because it's Friday and I'm already on weekend brain. Good morning, glorious followers, and welcome to another studio vlog with me, Carolyn from Crafting with Glorious Purpose. We're here, we sell unique and custom gifts for you or for that someone special. So this week is the week of July 14th. Today is actually Monday. This will be our first full week back to work, both my husband and I. I did go back in on Thursday and Friday, but it didn't feel like I was at work. I was like, I still had vacation that week, so a lot was still kind of a mess, I guess is the best way to say it. So what I'm looking to do this week is I want to get some admin done. I did a little bit last night. We went on a camping trip over the weekend and came back yesterday. So I still haven't pulled aside all my stuff and my sales from the market. So I did a little bit of that last night, but I have some other receipts and things I need to put in. So that'll probably be something quick that I can do here this morning before logging into work. I wanted to work on replenishing some decals and some other merchandise. There are some things that I sold that I'm probably not going to replenish because I don't have the stuff for it anymore. But like the decals for the dogs and stuff, because I want to keep that up to date for my upcoming dog events. So I have a couple of my decals because I had an order for one for the nose art. So I did 2 of that dog, and then I did, because I sold out of that dog at the event, and then I got an order for one. So I made 2 to make sure that I had another one on hand. And I have, I also sold out of the boxer and the bulldog. So I made it worthwhile. If I was going to cut, I just cut a full sheet. So there are some other things that I want to take care of. And there were things that I had on my list from the previous week that I wanted to do for the show that I'm hoping I can get done now. My Thursday night was going to be, from last week, was going to be, working on some of this admin and little stuff, so I didn't have to have it fall into this next week. But the whole thing with the scammer kind of threw me off because all I was doing was collecting evidence so that I can send it off to Stripe, which I still haven't heard anything yet. I did get confirmation email that they received all of my documentation, so we'll see what happens. I'm pretty confident it is not going to go in my favor, only because, it's someone's credit card that got stolen and that they didn't physically purchase the merchandise. But there's a glimmer of hope that, somebody responded to me via email that placed the order. So I don't know if it was this person or the person that was on the email, but I guess we will find out. I couldn't see the person's name on the credit card. So, it is what it is, but hopefully it does not get refunded. It is still, the funds are still with me, but I think they're on a hold or on a freeze until the decision is made. But they have a month to decide if they're going to rule in my favor or whoever's credit card it is. So that kind of threw me for a loop, and then that was going to be my evening stuff, was taking care of that. But all I was doing that, and I kind of gave myself a day of being frustrated, letting it happen, and now I'm moving on and trying to figure out ways that I can stop it from happening in the future. I know I can't stop every one of them, but there are a few things that I'm going to do as checks and balances on the way, whenever an order does come in, to double check some things before anything gets shipped out. But the scammers package was supposed to arrive today, but they got it on Saturday. So whoever the scammer is, if you're watching, I hope you enjoy the towel. anyway, the other thing I wanted to do, and I realized I didn't have, is I want to put an email signature or make like a little email image or icon to put in my email, just as something else to kind of brand me a little bit better. And I realized I didn't have one of those on there. I did make the little, and I forget what it's called, but the little icon when you're on the web page in the browser tabs, like it has a little icon, and I actually made one for that. So I have that made, but I'd like to do something with my email. And then I'd like to kind of scratch off any of the other products that I was looking at making. So I scratch off cards. I want to kind of get those going so that I can start putting them in my bags for the upcoming events. I'd like to finalize those. I also want to make a couple different bandanas for summer, and, you know, start thinking about fall collection. So that's coming around the corner. So that is what I'm going to do this week. It's not a huge busy week, which is a good thing because this last 2 weeks have been a whirlwind. So I'm looking forward to something a little more, a little more subdued, something I can feel like I can handle. So I'm going to take care of doing that. I'm going to get logged into work, and then I will catch you around lunchtime and we can kind of start working on some stuff. Alrighty, back from lunch. Well, shouldn't say back from lunch, back from running my errands during my lunch break. My lunch is sitting over there cooling. I got a little pizza. But I am currently weeding my nose art decals that I sold out of at our event. And then I will be logging back onto work here probably in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to try to see what I can get done before I have to log in. And I made my bank run, so I got my funds from my cash sales deposited. And I'm working on the weeding, which takes a while. And yeah, so we're going to see what we can get done in the 10 minutes that I have, and hopefully be in a better spot. My Cricut is still giving me problems. I don't know why it is not cutting deep enough. I'm using all the presets that I've used before, so that should not be a problem. But here I am having a problem. Yeah, I don't want to go in and change the depth and then risk cutting through, but something's got to give here. I mean, it's everything I do, it is not cutting completely through the vinyl. Like, it's, some of them it goes through perfectly fine, and other ones it's not going through. And I'm having to sit here and go with my tool and go along the edges and try to get it to pop off. And I don't want to ruin a decal, and that, yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe up it maybe a couple points and make the depth a little bit, just a smidge deeper on some of these. But it shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to do that with a new blade, is what I'm saying. Like, this is stupid. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this, and then I will catch you tomorrow, because tonight's a karate night, so I won't be doing that. I'll probably be doing some drawing. I'm trying to think of some stuff for the fall collection, and we are still underway with our Firefly collection with our Sparkle with Purpose, and we'll see how this runs its course. So we'll see you in a bit. Happy Tuesday. Made it through yesterday. First full day, first full week back. I got 2 of the 3 decals done yesterday before I had to log back into work. So I did finish this last one here. And I've got my packaging already ready because we had prepped those before. So I just have to put the transfer tape on and package those. They're ready to go. And then I can add them back into Square that they are available. I got to go through my Square and figure out what of the stuff I sold that I want to replenish. There's a couple things like the Christmas bandanas. I try to make a new one every year. So the ones that were left over, I think I only had like a size or 2 of each of the different designs from the past 2 Christmases. So once they're gone, they're gone. So I'll probably just hold on to them and put them out as like clearance or something in my booth. I did sell one at this last event, so I'm not going to make more of them. I just want to get rid of them, and then I can think of something else for the new Christmas ones. So with that, I am going to get this on, and then for lunchtime, I haven't decided what we're doing yet. I know the weather is probably going to be a little dicey this week, and I think today might be the day. So if it's not raining at lunchtime, it's sunny right now, but that can change in a drop of a hat. I might try to go out and at least start cutting the grass. That way then we can kind of finish it up after dinner. But because we haven't really cut our grass since we've been back from vacation, so it's a little high. And I think it rained while we were gone too, so that probably didn't help. So if I do that, then I probably won't be working in here, but I do have, the other thing I wanted to do was I needed to make an email signature. So I have a typed one, but I wanted to put like a logo or like an icon or something in as a little, to make my email a little more professional looking. I do have a gmail.com, so I know that that's a huge no-no. But I don't have an email through anywhere else that I can not have it just be craftingwithgloriouspurpose.com, whatever. So yeah, I have it. Mine's at a Gmail. So I do want to add in like a little signature. So I'm probably going to work on trying to create that if I can. Not anything earth shattering today. But yeah, so I'm going to start making my list of my stock, getting those replenished, and then taking a look at, possibly working on the things that I did not get to do for the last market. So I know I do want to make some more different dog bandanas that are more evergreen. And because my stock, it was funny, I had a lot of the Thai ones, and I didn't realize how many have gone through from the shows. I wasn't making new ones because they weren't going. And then I realized, oh wow, a lot of these are gone. So I do have the blanks, I just need to make them. So I was thinking I might make a couple that are both, so that if everybody has a different opinion on how they like their dog bandanas. So there's people that don't like having to take the collar off because it has, tags and other things on it, and they don't want to thread anything on it and then have to put the collar back on their dog. This way they can just tie it real quick. Other people feel that the bandana would get pulled off easier if it wasn't on the collar, so they don't like the tie ones. So it's a mixed bag. So I like to have both options if possible. So I think that will be my focus for the dog bandanas going forward, is trying to have both options as a over the collar and a, trying to have my new designs follow that, where they could be both, so that I don't miss out on a sale because they were like, oh, I don't like the Thai ones. Or there's also the case that people don't people have white dogs and the white bandanas just don't show up on them. So unless it's an all over print, which I can't do because my press is only so big. I did want to test trying to piece one together, but I'm not sure how that will go. If you'll see the line, if it will look bad, I don't want to spend the time doing that and then have it be something I struggle with, you know, after the fact. So, all right. With that said, I got a couple things I can tidy up, but I got about 10 minutes. I'm going to be getting logged back onto work, and then we will see you maybe at lunch, maybe tomorrow. Good morning. It's Friday. So I haven't filmed in the last couple days because I haven't really actually done anything. And by anything, I mean actually anything. I spent yesterday going through some of my office supplies to see what I was low. I was low on sticker paper, vinyl, a couple other things. I figured I should get those before show time just to make sure that I had some stuff available for case for replenishing, things like that. I also bit the bullet and actually ordered a square tap reader. I've had more people in the last few events ask if I had tap, and luckily they had their card available. Like they wanted to use their phone to tap or their card to tap. And with the upcoming, I have 2 shows that are going to be a little, I think, pretty substantial. And this way I have my small reader that can swipe. And I can maybe have my husband take payments with his phone, and I can take, because we have the Square account is linked to both of us so that he can take credit cards too. Just in case we start to get a bunch of people at once. That way we have 2 options that we can, you know, split up and check people out. Just makes me kind of nervous only having one way to do it. So didn't want to spend the money, but figured in this upcoming one, it might be a little easier for checkout to have the little tap. So I bought the little Square tap, but it also takes swipe as well. So that should be coming today, fingers crossed, since I've had all kinds of problems with my business version. I got that on the business one because I actually got a few bucks taken off, which was nice. I don't know if that was available, that offer was available on the other personal one or not, but I did, like I said, order a few other things. They're coming today. One of them was a Munbin, replenish my Munbin stickers. I'm low on those, and we do them on my niece's t-shirts, so I wanted to have those ready to go. I also ordered a off-brand because I did some digging, and it looks like there's a way around so that you can use different sizes. So I found a size that was 1 inch, which is really what I wanted for this Munbin printer, was 1 inch size, so that I could make little craft paper brown ones of just my logo to put on my products. Like I have the ones I put on the back of the shadow box, and I feel like all I do is cut out sticker sheets and then cutting them, and it's just, I don't want to waste the sticker paper. I'd rather do it on a cheap thermal sticker to put on things, since that's just packaging and it's going to get thrown away. So I have those coming today. I am on the later shift today. I swapped with someone so that I could have them back me up a previous week. So I'm working on call for the weekend. And then next week I am actually on call. So I will be just skewing my week. So I have Friday until Thursday instead of Monday through Friday. So I've got at least an hour that I can get some stuff done. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend today going through and trying to print out some of my keychains. So I have 2 that I need to replenish. I have 2 new dogs that I'm going to put on there. One is the Shetland Sheepdog, and the other one is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. So I have those ready. I just need to print them out and assemble and get them ready to press. So even if I get them cut and taped, I can do the pressing at another time. It's just getting everything going. So I'm going to work on making that. And like I said, I have the nose art decals done. They just need the transfer tape put on them so I can actually do that. And I'm waiting on the sticker paper so that I can make the little tags to go on the outside of the packaging that says what the dog breed is. I got to figure out a better way to do that, but for right now, that's what I'm going to do. What else was there? I was starting on a new YouTube banner to put on my homepage, like when you get onto my channel. Not quite done yet with that. And I also, let's see, I didn't work at all on my email signature, and I really need to do that. Yeah, I think those are going to be it. And then I'm going to do another print. I want to take another look at my cards for scratch offs. I have, like I said, I have the page done. I just need to print them. I was a little concerned they were a little too small. So I'm want to give them another look, but I might do a test print of those so that can be printing while I'm working on stuff. So that's what we're going to get started doing. And save some of this other stuff for next week. So like nude bandanas. I know I'm not getting that done today. Not even at lunch. But yeah, I kind of want to get some of this stuff printed or cut or things like that so that my lunch can just be assembling things together. And then I'll be one step closer. I do also need to make the Shetland Sheepdog and the Staffordshire Bull Terrier as an actual decal to put in my mix. I was kind of going through my list. I'll probably have to update this as well and add those two dogs on there. And I was going through to see if I could find any other dogs that I didn't do. And some of them are so obscure. I don't think I've ever seen these dogs before. So I think I'm at my max of breeds that are out there, unless it's somebody's looking for one specific for their dog. You know, I don't have very many mixed breeds. I mean, I have like the Golden Doodle. I have the Chiweenie. And I have, trying to think of what was the other one. It'll come to me. But yeah, I mean, I have a couple, but they're very common breeds that you see mixed breeds of that people have. I've never seen some of these other ones. And they may even just be like specific to like a country as well. So that'd be very unlikely that they would be here. So I think I'm at a good number of dog breeds that I can confidently say that if somebody asks me for one, I should have it now. But you never know. You never know. Okay, so I'm going to get started on printing some stuff. Oh, one more thing before I forget. I do have an update on the scammer thing. So I don't have resolution just yet. Like I said, they have until the mid-August to get back to us if I won the case or not. But I was going through my bank statement, or not my statement, but just kind of, you know, as you do, you look and make sure that there's no weird charges or anything on there. And I'm so accustomed to seeing when I see Stripe, it's in the green. And it was minus $47.20. So the product was $17.20. So I'm like, why is $47 being taken out of my account? So I get into my Stripe dashboard. They took out the $17.20, and then they charged me $15 to do that, to physically take the $17 back. Then they added they took another $15 out because I disputed the charge. So I am now out on this one single flippin' towel, $47.20, which is stupid. I mean, that's almost 3 towels. I'm out. So I had to call them because I didn't understand, because they have, the way it's worded, it says adjustment $17.20, $15 fee, should have been $32.20, which is what I was banking on it being, because I knew disputing it was going to cost $15. I got it. I understood that part. But then I see stripe fees, another additional $15 taken out. So the payout was $47.20. So I called and I'm like, did you guys deduct $15 from me twice? Like, what is the... And she's like, no, it's $15 to take the money back, and then $15 because you disputed it. So had I just not disputed it, I would have at least saved $15. But I guess what happens is I will still be out $15. Even if I win, I'm still out $15, because in the miracle that I would win, I would get the $17.20 back, and I would get my dispute $15 back. So I will get $32.20 back, but I will lose the $15 because they had to push a button to have the money come back. I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. So do your due diligence on checking this kind of stuff to make sure that the person that's ordering from you is legit, because had this been a bigger order, I would have been hosed. There is nothing protecting a small business from this kind of stuff. Like, that is, I would have loved an alert or something that said, this is a sketchy deal, don't go further with these people. Like that, they were able to tell me that, you know, this person tried 4 or 5 different credit cards and then they let the one go through. That should have been a flag where they just blocked it. Like, I can see if somebody was like, oh, I put a card in and it got declined, and oh, I have my backup card. But if you have 4 backup cards, then that's ridiculous. That obviously should have been, that should have never made it through to me. And I don't know how else I would have caught that without having to go through on every single transaction. And now that's something I'm going to have to do. And I'm by no means making hand over fist money in this small side hustle. So the part that concerns me is one day when I do, how do you look for that kind of stuff? Like, if you've been in this position before, or you're doing, you're doing well, let me know what you do. Because to me, that just seems like you'd have to have somebody full time going through and looking at your stuff saying, okay, this one doesn't seem like it's legit. Or do you just absorb the cost of taking the chance? And I'm not there. So I need every dime I can get. But anyway, so I wanted to give you that update. But yeah, like I had said, I think they have till I think it's either August 24th or the 30th or something like that, to finalize the case. So I could hear back before then, but they have until that day, and I have a feeling it will be that day. And I have a feeling I'm going to be out $47.20. So I'm moving on. So let's get some stuff done. All right. These are the scratch offs. So I cut one group here, and this was my test to make sure they worked, but they don't line up exactly right. So my thinking is I might try, because each one kind of went on a little different. So that was my first oopsie, and then that one was better, but I got to figure out a better way to get them all on there. So, yeah, I'm going to try the parchment paper method, I think. And since I have this where the tape was on the reel here and it was already ruined, I might use this one to see if I can use the parchment and do a slide on here and see if that allows me for better placement. If not, I might need to I don't want to make the white smaller because this is kind of tiny as it is. I was trying to, so let me grab this real quick. This obviously is a business card, so I kind of wanted it the size of a business card, but to stand out, just be a little smaller. So, because it doesn't really have a lot of information on there other than the code. So yeah, my thinking was, and this is one of my old cards, like this would be a good size, but to the same point, I don't want to waste paper making these scratch offs. So yeah, I think that might be what I end up doing. So we'll give this a shot and see what happens. All right, it is lunchtime. Amazon has just delivered. So let's get into this and see what we got here. So I also, just before I was ready to take lunch, got an order. So excited about that. It is for 2 nose guard decals. So there is my reader. So super excited about this. Let's see. Oh, I guess they got it sealed. All right. Let's see. There we go. Their packaging reminds me a lot of Apple. Like it's very clean and simple. So we got the little pack with the instructions, and I'm assuming the little decal to say what you accept. Let's see. It's got a nice little wood grain cardboard in there, which is kind of cool. It's got the charging cable and the little square. So I can take card or tap now, which is awesome. So I'm going to get this charging so that I can try it out and make sure everything is legit and it works with my iPad. So that was package 1. This one, I'm not sure why this one's separate. Because I got this big giant one, and I don't know why it wasn't all in one. Oh. Big bag for this little roll. But this is the 1-inch heat tape, heat tape. Try it again. Thermal labels. Words are really hard for me today because it is Friday and I'm already on weekend brain. So these I'm going to try in my Mun bin. I know it only accepts 1.5 as the smallest, but I did see somebody go through a tutorial, so I'm going to try and see if I can get that to work. If I can, I'll show you what I did. But I'm hoping that this is the perfect size because this is the size I keep making. So I want to make sure that this works. All right, so on to the big guy. Okay. My vinyl box apparently got mangled. There's my vinyl. Good grief. Got busted out of the bottom. So I got my white vinyl. My sticker paper package is broken. What the hell happened here? So here's my sticker paper. The complete container is ripped and broken open. I don't even know what that is. And then I got my labels for my Mun bin. So yeah, I don't know somebody sat on this package or what happened here, but that's crazy. Yeah, so I think I got everything. Yeah, this was separate. It was for the Munban. So yeah, not sure what that's for. All right. So yeah, my container's completely broken. Yeah, I will probably get started printing some stuff. And like I said, I got some stickers to replenish. I've got decals to make and an order to get out. So I am going to work on that and possibly the scratch and win ones. So at first I think I'm going to go take and get a quick lunch, and then we'll get started on some stuff. All right, so we are ready to get started on these scratch off cards. So let's see what we got here. I got some scrap piece of parchment paper. I'm actually going to make it smaller just so that I can maneuver a little easier. I'm going to use this last test one that I have ready to cut, and I'm going to give this a go with the parchment paper and see if it's easier to place this on. I don't know if the sticker will stick to the parchment paper or not. But we'll see what happens. All right, so we've got our sticker here that is already exposed because of the way. So let's see if it sticks to this. It does not. Nice. All right, so the trick is you do it halfway. It's kind of hard to see with this piece of tape, so let me get the tape off of here. All right, and then you can kind of eyeball it on here before you drop it. And that worked out perfectly. So then this can get scratched off like normal. And that worked out so much better than me trying to eyeball it because I could not get it centered. So yeah, the parchment trick works with these stickers, which is great. So I'm going to actually make codes because these are all ones that I was testing. I already cut this sheet up to make these other ones. And I was testing out making the code in pink, which it's just too hard to read. So I went with all the text in black. And I think that that's probably the way to go. You can if you hold it up to the light, you can kind of see the black through it. But not the code. You definitely could tell if you got a decent amount. So I'm going to go through and make ones for 10, possibly ones for 20, and maybe one or like per sheet, maybe doing one that's higher value. So that way, if somebody wanted to, I mean, I can mix them up and then grab them at random and put them in. So I'm going to put these to replace in my bag, my checkout bag. Right now I have my review, but until Farah decides that they're going to go back to having a free model, I will be just relying on Google reviews. So I'm going to have to, that's another thing I need to put on my list. Set up a link or some kind of notification about Google reviews so that I can use that. I'm not sure how to integrate that on my big cartel, but that's definitely something I'm going to put on my list so that I can look into that. So yeah, that way I'm going to put these in the checkout bags, and then I don't have to, I could take out all those other cards. So what I'm going to do is, and then I can create new codes for each, have ones for 10, one for whatever, and then based on how many I have, how many cards I've made, I can have it valid so many times. And then that way I don't, you know, it doesn't get abused, especially a higher value one, like a 10% off is fine. But yeah, I don't want to have a 50% off and have somebody use it multiple times. So gonna have to do that. So I'm gonna get these started, and I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I have some time left on my lunch break, but it's just gonna be getting some stuff prepped because I was unable to get other stuff prepped before the call, or before I got on to work and got logged in. So I'm gonna probably send a bunch of stuff to the printer and try my best to get things, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do any pressing or any finalizing things. It's going to be getting my pages set up for printing, and I'm probably going to recut the 2 decals that were just ordered. So I have the Roddy and the, I always say this name wrong, but Weimaraner. So these 2 will be going out to Jessica. So thank you, Jessica, for your order. And I'm going to just make 2 more of those so that I have them in my stash. Figure if I'm cutting 2, I might as well cutting those 2, I might as well cut 4. And then that way those are replenished. And then I got my sticker paper, so then I can make my little tabs that have my SKU number and stuff on the back for the ones that are going to be for in-person shows and stuff. So I don't know. It seemed to work out really good for the, yeah, see, I'm torn because I really like the way the keychains are with the SKU number at the bottom and the name of the breed. And that just means that every time I make one, I'm going to have to print a new backer card for it too, instead of just putting on a sticker. But the sticker sheet is also a little cumbersome too with that little tiny sticker. So if I can get, if I could get my 1-inch stickers to work, where the hell did I put them? Where'd I put them? Oh, here they are. If I can get these to work, maybe I could do the dog name, the dog breed, and the SKU number, and put that on this little top corner. They also have these in other colors too, so I could get pink if I wanted, but I wanted this because it's pretty much the brand that I was most of the tan and stuff. So hopefully I can get those to work, because that might be the way to go. That way I can just run off. I can have them set up for each dog and the SKU number, and then just print off one as I need it, instead of printing a full sheet of stickers and using sticker paper. So I will have to look into that. So I'm going to put that on the list too. My list keeps growing of little things that I go, oh, and I could do this. But this is why you use your slow time for that kind of stuff. Ironing out all the little stuff. So I'll put new labels for my decals. All right. So yeah, I'm going to end the vlog here, and we will catch up next week, where I will be probably getting back into the swing of things, getting things made, redoing some things, and things like that. And hope that you have an awesome weekend, and we will catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment something, let me know that you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next week. Bye, guys.